Hi, this question appeared in JEE Advanced 2020 in its first paper, and it is a single correct answer question and it has got negative marking. The question is basically from the topic areas. Let us go ahead and solve this. But before we do that, I would strongly recommend all of you to pause this video at this moment and give this question a try. So we have two functions given. F of x is equal to e to the power x minus 1 minus e to the power minus mod x minus 1, and there is another function g of x is equals to half into e to the power x minus 1 plus e to the power 1 minus x. Fine. Then the area of the region in the first quadrant bounded by the curves. Okay, let us consider this function. If x is greater than 1, let us say, then f of x is equals to e to the power x minus 1 minus e to the power minus x is greater than 1. So the inner quantity is positive. So mod x minus 1 will be simply x minus 1. So this will be e to the power x minus 1 minus e to the power 1 minus x. If x is less than 1, let us say, f of x will be e to the power x minus 1 minus e to the power minus mod of x minus 1. So when x is less than 1, this inner quantity is negative. So mod x minus 1 is 1 minus x. So that will be e to the power x minus 1 minus e to the power x minus 1. So this will be 0. So therefore, for x less than 1, f of x is 0. And g of x is this thing for all x. Now what are they asking? Area of the region in the first quadrant. So we have to draw the graph of these functions in the first quadrant. Correct? So let us say this is coordinate axis. So f of 0 is 0. F of 1 is also 0. But after this, so this is for x greater than 1. Correct? So after this, the function will go something like this. Because when you put x is equal to infinity, so this term will go to infinite and this term will go to 0. So total will be like it will go to infinite. And let us go back to g of x. So when you put x is equal to 0, g of 0 is equals to half into e to the power minus 1 plus e. So g of 0 is somewhere here, e to the power minus 1 plus e times half. And when you put x is equal to infinite, this term goes to infinite, this term goes to 0, so it goes to infinite. Okay, but we have to see if f of x and g of x intersects at some point. All right, so the equation of g of x is half into e to the power x minus 1 plus e to the power 1 minus x. If those functions are intersecting at some point, g of x should be is equal to f of x. So this is f of x for x greater than 1. So e to the power x minus 1 minus e to the power 1 minus x. So this will be e to the power x minus 1 plus e to the power 1 minus x is equal to 2 e to the power x minus 1 minus 2 e to the power 1 minus x. So bring this to this side and take this to that side. So 3 e to the power x minus 1, e to the power x minus 1 is 3 e to the power 1 minus x. So this will be we have to find out the value of x at which it intersects. So this is e power x by e is equal to 3 e by e power x. So e power 2x is equal to 3e square. So e power x is equal to root 3 e. X is equal to ln root 3 e. So that is equal to 1 plus ln root 3. So these curves intersect at a point whose x coordinate is 1 plus ln root 3. And what area do we have to find out? Area in the first quadrant bounded by the curves fx, gx and x is equal to 0, that is y-axis. So we have to find out this particular area. Correct? So now to do that, we have to find out green area. So I am coloring this with red. So to find out green area, so we will find out area under g of x from 0 to 1 plus ln root 3, and we'll subtract that from area under f of x. Then we will get the green area. So integral 0 to 1 plus ln root 3 g of x dx minus integral 1 to 1 plus ln root 3 f of x dx. This will be the required area. Alright. So what is g of x? Half e power x plus 1 plus e power 1 minus x. So let us find out, okay, 0 to 1 plus ln root 3 half e to the power x minus 1 plus e to the power 1 minus x dx minus integral 1 to 1 plus ln root 3 fx is e to the power x minus 1 minus e to the power 1 minus x, e to the power x minus 1 minus e to the power 1 minus x dx. So half comes outside and integrate. So we are integrating the first term. This is e power x by e. So 1 by e also comes outside. So integration of e power x is e power x. So that goes from 0 to 1 plus ln root 3 plus similarly 1 by 2 for this term also comes outside, and this is e into e to the power minus x. So e also comes outside. Integration of e to the power minus x is e to the power minus x by minus 1. This goes from 0 to 1 plus ln root 3 minus similarly here e to the power x integration is e to the power x by e 1 plus 1 to 1 plus ln 1 plus ln root 3. So minus into minus plus, e comes outside. Integration of e to the power minus x is e to the power minus x by minus 1. This goes from 1 plus 1 to 1 plus ln root 3. Alright. So 1 plus ln root 3 is, so let us write 1 plus ln root 3 as ln root 3 e only. Okay, because it will be convenient here. So the first term, so this is 1 by 2e times e to the power ln root 3e minus e to the power 0. So that is 1 plus this is second term is minus e by 2 e to the power minus ln root 3e minus e to the power minus 0. Third, next let us go ahead. So this will be e to the power ln root 3e minus e to the power 1. So this will be minus e to the power minus ln root 3e minus e to the power minus 1. So this we have to find out. So this is 1 by 2e. This will be root 3e minus 1 minus e by 2. So this will be 1 by root 3. 1 by root 3 e minus e power 0 is 1 minus 1 by e. Again this is root 3e minus e minus e. This is 1 by root 3 e minus 1 by e. Oh my god. Okay, how is the answer? Okay, e and e inverse. Okay, answer is in terms of e and e inverse. Okay, fine. Let us multiply. This will be root 3 by 2 minus 1 by 2 e inverse. Multiply these two, minus 1 by 2 root 3 plus e by 2 minus root 3 plus 1 minus 1 by root 3 plus 1. Okay, let us add up these terms. 1 plus 1, 2, 2, root 3 by 2 minus root 3. So minus root 3 by 2 minus 1 by 2 root 3 minus 1 by root 3. So that will be 2 root 3. So this is plus e by 2 minus e inverse by 2. So this can be written as root 3 times root 3. This and this gets cancelled. So this is 2 minus root 3 plus half into e minus e inverse. This is the area. 2 minus root 3 plus half into e minus e inverse. 2 minus root 3 plus half into e minus e inverse. Option A.